Welcome to Around the Reel with your hosts, Aaron Carlson, Charles Lawson, and Samantha Hanna. Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
Too funny. Well, welcome to Around the Reel. We are recording, and
why does no one say anything?
No one says a word. We've got it. Everybody's just like, "What? You're fucking recording?"
What do you mean?
I know. I'm waiting for all these tough questions.
Oh yeah,
we've got those for you.
You researched my life.
You know it.
Yeah, we did. We did a little bit. Not really.
Here's my first tough question for you.
Thank you. No.
No, we don't. That's why we wanted you on here, to see what you could tell us about yourself. That's the fun part.
We did stalk you a little, though.
Yeah, Sam's good at it.
I'm a storyteller. I'll tell you anything you want to know.
Oh, man.
Why did you say yes?
Because I've been seeing your postings and listening. I think it's great. This is like my, I've done a few interviews before, and my manager makes me, even if I didn't want to do it, but I do.
Oh,
and I think you guys have a great show.
Well, thank you. I know why you said yes to come to us. I meant, why did you say yes to your husband? I was actually trying to get to the deep questions here. I apologize.
My husband.
Yeah, you said yes to him first. I mean, I figured that's the tougher question.
No, not him first. There were a few others before him.
See?
Now we're getting somewhere.
I've been married a few times. Not as many as Elizabeth Taylor,
Me too.
But a few.
Yeah, she's been married a lot of times.
I've never been married. I'm the only one.
Well, good.
No.
Divorce sucks, but we won't talk about that.
Yeah, we don't have to. Unless you really want to, because we could dig in.
No.
It's fun.
We talk about the real.
can't.
So anything you want to talk about.
There's so much more fun
I'd rather
things.
talk about my acting, really.
Yeah.
Thank you. Me too.
But don't you think in marriage you're acting a little bit still?
No. What?
Oh, God. I hope
Sometimes.
I know. I hope not.
Sometimes. Like when the honey-do list happens and someone doesn't do it and one person's pissed off, but they have to act like they're not mad.
I mean, I have learned how not to get around my husband's stubbornness. He's very stubborn.
Okay. He's a strong guy. That's why. He's like Bruce Willis.
No, just, if he doesn't want to do something, he doesn't say, I don't want to do it. He just doesn't do it.
I've actually got one of those
but
myself.
Me, I'm like, I have a big honey-do list all the time. So,
Oh, no.
he makes me coffee in the morning. What can I say? I can't complain about that.
Does he cook for you?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Do the dishes. I do the dishes.
He does. Does he do the dishes too, or you do them?
No, I do them.
You do the dishes too? Wow.
I'm a neat freak.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
That's a good thing. That kind of goes with you, though.
He's not. He's very...
Me neither. I'm messy.
Okay, that's it.
We're good. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have. Should we go by Joy Curtis or Joyce Curtis? Which way do you like to say it?
Well, that's another story. So, when I became SAG in my 30s, there was another Joyce Curtis. So, Joyce is my real name.
Okay.
But IMDb has Joy. And that actress got really mad that I was using her name. I didn't know any better. So anyway, SAG gave me that name, and I kind of like it.
No,
I like Joy because it means you can't be unhappy.
That's right. No, that's beautiful. I love that.
But does it give you more pressure to not be unhappy because you have to be happy because your name is Joy?
Yes.
So it's just more work.
You should try it because it really works.
But I'm very happy.
That's your name, Happy Lawson.
Aaron, you can be gay.
Gay Lawson.
No, you can be
Gay Carlson. Yeah, I kind of am. I'm always happy.
Happy, gay, Joy, and what can I be?
Sassy.
Sassy.
Yeah, you're sassy.
You are the sensational Sassy Sam.
But yeah, empathetic.
Okay.
Emotional.
Oh, an empath.
She is one.
She is extreme.
She is. We had a good discussion of that the other day. It was good.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, it is a good thing.
But we want to hear about you.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Hey, so do you want to know how I got into acting?
I do.
Yes, tell us about that, Joy, please.
It's a really long story.
We got a long
We
time.
got time.
Sit back. Okay. So when I was young, little, like around 8 years old, I started ballet lessons. And I'm adopted, and my brother is adopted from another family. My sister isn't, but we had another little boy who was retarded. And they had to send him back to Catholic Charities. That's another long story. But I was dancing ballet, and my parents were not rich. They were pretty poor, and my mother said that she couldn't afford my lessons anymore. And they gave me a scholarship, but my mother would not allow me to have it. She said, we're too proud for that. I'll take an ironing. So I was pretty depressed about my little brother being taken away. And I just quit. Because I didn't want her to have control over me already at 8 years old.
Wow.
Anyway, so I didn't get the scholarship. But at 19, a girlfriend that had taken ballet before signed both of us up for adult beginning classes. And so I started ballet again. Well, the first lesson, we both ended up in intermediate. In 6 months, I was in the company. And a year and a half, I was a soloist.
Oh, wow.
And that's how my acting career sort of started as a dancer, really. I was in the Colorado Concert Ballet. And when it got really political, I had an injury, so they took all my roles away from me. And anyway, it was awful. And so I quit. But I loved it, and I love music.
Okay.
So I just decided that I was going to go into acting.
Wow.
And that's how that happened. So I still taught. I still did some choreography. But my first job I found in the newspaper, which really doesn't exist anymore. And it was for storytellers. And so we were in Big Bertha, the yellow bus, and we would go around to small public schools like in Canyon City, Colorado, and whatever. And we would perform. We would sing and we would tap dance. And I couldn't tap dance because of ballet, so I just took my taps off and went like because I was making all the wrong noises. And we did things from literature, like, Dr. Seuss or The 51st Dragon. And then we go and do workshops afterwards with the kids in the school. Mm-hmm. So I did that for about 6 months until I broke my ankle, because I was trying to learn how to do a walking handstand. I think I was about 26 or something.
Okay.
Wait. Excuse me. How did you break your ankle doing a handstand?
Because I was doing a walking one, and my arms gave out, and I flipped over and sat on it.
Oh.
Really.
She broke her shit. Wow.
That sounds painful.
That kept me out for quite a while. And then I got tendonitis and all that stuff.
No.
I was learning how to do that for a country dinner playhouse, but
Okay.
I never did that after that.
So you're up here in Washington State with us. Did you grow up here, or was that somewhere else?
Denver. I'm from Denver.
Denver. Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's why the Colorado Concert Ballet. Yes,
Okay.
I'm from Denver.
Gotcha.
And then after my first divorce, I moved to Utah. And that is because my ex-husband and I produced our own movie.
Okay.
And started it, and he wrote it, and I mean it's on Amazon. It's pretty bad. And then real acting job. Anyway, so when we got divorced, I took the film to Sundance. It was in the Sundance competition. They don't like comedies very much, but
It's hard to get in there with those. Yeah, it's saturated with them.
It was in there, yeah. It was a takeoff on Bruce Lee's Enter the Dragon, and it was called Enter the Basset, like Enter the Basset Hound.
Okay.
So, we knew some really crazy people that helped write that. Anyway, I met an agent in the audience that was watching the movie and saw me, and he said, "My best actress is going to LA. So how would you like to act here?" And I said, okay. So for a while I was commuting between Denver and Salt Lake City. and still doing modeling too. I mean, I did fashion shows for ZCMI and was carrying my shoes on the plane and off. And I mean, I didn't even know where I was when I'd wake up.
Wow.
But eventually,
I've had those nights.
Of course you have, Chuck.
Eventually, when I did get divorced, I moved in with a roommate in this big old house. It was pretty cool. And that's when my acting career really took off. I mean, I did acting in Denver too, but in Utah, there's the Osmond Studios. There's all this kind of stuff. And they have mostly educational videos and industrial videos. And I just worked all the time. And I did a couple national commercials and a few movies, but, nothing really time. The national commercials were, but nothing really big time. But I'd walk into an audition. One time I walked in and this woman goes to the person next to her. Oh, she's here. We might as well just leave. She gets everything.
I can see that, yeah.
Well, I don't anymore, but...
Well, I'm surprised that you don't, because I can't say that I've seen a lot of your work, but from what I've seen, I've gathered a lot about you. And just there's certain actors and actresses that just kind of steal things, and you're one of those. You just have that thing that some people just have. That
You're
just kind of.
up.
Am I breaking up? You can't hear me? Can you hear me
you
better?
were breaking up a little bit in the middle.
Yeah, just got every other word, but I thank you for the compliment.
It was a very nice compliment. She was like, she's
was
surprised you're not
very
getting more of everything because you are so
I'll
lovely
have
and
to listen
talented.
to it again. I know. I'm in my 60s. That's a harder age to get. Now, when I was in my 50s, I didn't work at all. Barely, 40s worked a lot, 30s worked a lot. 50s, I had just moved here. So I have had a real job at the same time I've been acting.
Okay.
And what I found out that you could do is be an outside salesperson, because then you can leave and nobody knows that you're really on set. Just as long as you. So my Lucent Technologies moved me here from Salt Lake. After I sold a multi-million-dollar account, I didn't want to live there anymore because I was getting divorced again.
Gotcha.
My ex-husband was harassing me, so it was bad. And I don't know, Salt Lake City, sorry, Salt Lake City, but you're very conservative. It's like, they're this way or they're this way. Mm-hmm. And I just didn't really fit in. But I did have the LDS Church as my account. It was weird because I'm not Mormon, but that was different.
But you can sell.
Anyway, yes. Like Snowbird was a huge account that I sold. So they paid for my move. They let me decide between Denver, didn't want to go there, had an ex there, or Seattle. So I went to Seattle because I had spent 2 weeks here one time at a wedding. And of course it was during the summer when it was beautiful.
Right.
When I moved, it rained. I think it was the worst year for rain ever. But they did pay for my move. And so I worked really hard to get established here. And I really didn't do any acting. I didn't have an agent. So that took me a while. And then, do you know who Colleen Bell is? She's an agent.
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think I've heard of her.
Well, she used to be.
Okay.
I don't know that she was my agent for like 15 years. She has kids mostly. And I couldn't get an agent here. I think it was when all your shows had stopped or something. And so I talked Colleen into becoming an agent for adults too, and she was great, okay. But then things happen. I think that she was really ready to retire. I don't know.
Okay.
So
I say you even talked somebody into being an agent in a format that they didn't even want to do.
Yeah,
she can sell.
I do
She's
it all the
persuasive.
time.
Persuasive as
I
fuck,
don't want to deal with
Joy.
adults. They're assholes. Oh, come on. You'll have fun.
Yeah, she used the force on him. She just didn't fuck around. She did. She's, I don't want to do that. Yes, you do want to do that. I guess I'll do that. Yeah, that sounds great. She did that move. They're so funny. Sam, say something. Say something. I want to check your mic. Hold on a second, Joy.
It's all bad. I'm just gonna.
You think it's bad?
Oh yeah.
Can you guys hear Sam at all?
She breaks up really bad for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't-
See, I'm gonna
Why don't we
cut me off.
let's
Wanna
pause
sign
this?
in?
Yeah, we're gonna pause for a second, and I'll edit this back together. Let's pause and get her in here, right?
Yeah,
is
yeah,
that
absolutely.
cool?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, let's just.
That's the glory of editing. I'll just keep talking to Joy while you
Yeah.
take care of the stuff on your end.
Well, actually, I'm gonna stop the recording on our side, and we'll come back in.
Okay,
That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Get it figured out.
All right, give us a second, guys.
And
So you guys have been talking this whole time, and you know I stopped recording. I told you that, right?
yes, we've been talking
Yeah,
intimately.
Oh, good. Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
We weren't talking about acting very much.
No,
we were
no, you're fine.
We were
Okay.
talking about Amber's surgery, why we're doing everything remotely. And then she was just telling me about how she found her mom, because we were talking about me going to hell in Palm Desert and the fact that she's snowbirding, so she's watching somebody's house for her.
Oh,
And
gotcha,
they're
gotcha.
down in Palm Springs. So she's like, oh, look, it's 89 degrees. And I was like, oh, what a bitch. And then Joy had to stop laughing after cackling for about 5 minutes because I got her on that one.
Right. And then I went back and told. So I'm adopted, so I found my biological mother about 3 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And she's amazing. She texts me every night telling me how much she loves me. I've been to see her a few times. I have 2 half brothers. I mean, and tons of cousins. And I found I was half Italian, which I never knew. I didn't know that.
But it says something about her personality.
Well, I'm half black too, and I just found out like 2 weeks ago, so it's fine. It's normal. It
You
happens
just
to everybody.
found out. Very funny. That must have been a shock.
Oh yeah, especially when I went to the bathroom, I was quite shocked. Like, woo, look at that.
Going to the bathroom. Why? I don't get that.
Oh, you know what they say about black guys.
Oh, God. So bad. Oh.
I know.
Hey, I watched your movie Outrider. It was really good.
Oh, you did watch it.
Thank you.
Yes, I love noir. I love noir. I've always wanted to act in it. Yeah, it was great. You did a great job with your character. Everything looked good.
Oh, we did all that just on the fly with one little camera and a bunch of cheap lights and no audio equipment, but we wanted to still try to make it as cinematic as possible. So we tried really, really hard with that.
Really looked good. I was impressed.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. That means a lot. We love making it. It was super fun. I told you, Chuck, it was not a bad movie.
I never said it was a bad movie. I'm just throwing off my thespian abilities by the fact that, as being me, the type of guy that I am, I pulled off playing a priest. So, there's potential.
Oh, I was a nun.
Yes, I saw that. I don't even know how to say the name of that movie. How do you say that name of that movie?
No, Silence is the English title.
I know that.
Gotcha.
I wanted to know how do you say it in the other
Oh,
language?
forget it. I mean,
Nashabad.
it was interesting being on the set because it was an all Indian crew and the stars were Indian, and some came from India. I mean, a lot of them did, and they have a company here too. But they had all special food, and I don't know. It was really different, and I'm still friends with some of them, the director and one of the women that was a star, and
Wow.
Susan Eccles Orton also was a nun in that, and she kept saying, we've got to go to the premiere in Hollywood, and I go, I don't know that there's going to be a premiere, but okay.
And is it going to be in Hollywood or in Bollywood? I mean, where is the premiere going to actually be at?
Probably more. It's already out. It's in 3 different Indian languages. One is Hindu, and Tagalog is, I don't know. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Okay.
You still said it better than I would have.
I was gonna. Well, it might be wrong. I was gonna watch it on Amazon, but I can't find it.
Well, I did notice that they did change the release date to October 2nd, so I don't know if they ended up pushing it back out farther than that, because the original release date was April 2nd, and then all of a sudden it was October. So I don't know if they would.
No, but it's on Amazon.
It is.
But
Well,
yeah, but
Is it-
I think it's under that Amazon name.
Gotcha.
Sorry, Indian name. Sorry.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So you talked about acting a little bit. Well, we are having our technical difficulties. By the way, Sam, I don't know if she's going to be able to join us or not because of the phone now goofing up. So she may not be coming back in. So just to let you guys know, and the audience, what happened. We had some technical difficulties, but that's the kind of week we've had.
that is the week we've
It's been
had.
fun. Yes, it sure has been. But
The
what?
gremlins are here. The gremlins.
I know.
So yeah, I did want to talk about acting a little bit.
Yeah, you said you were at SAG earlier. If somebody didn't know what SAG is, how would you explain it? What is that?
It's the union for actors, and usually it's very valued, but not here in the Pacific Northwest because most things are made non-union because we don't have we have a big indie community, but not a big, we have no sound stage for commercials or TV series, big movies. We have no sound stage. So
Correct.
With the rain, that could be a challenge,
Mm-hmm.
Blade Runner liked the rain, but yeah, so
I like it.
I did become Phi Corps, and that's where you're still a member of the union, but you are not allowed to vote. But I am allowed to do non-union films.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Started working, I hate to say it, a lot more. I was a member of SAG, the voting SAG, regular SAG-AFTRA for 37 years. So.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I'll tell you, doing a SAG movie, a SAG-AFTRA movie, is completely different than shooting an indie or low budget even. The rules are very strict, and they really take care of you. So
Okay.
I did do that, so I think it's good to do union films, but they just, if I want to work, they're not here.
Gotcha.
I did that Bigfoot movie with.
I was going to say, I know you did. I'm terrified of Bigfoot to this day. I am.
If you watch it, it's the worst movie, but I'm great. I'm great in it.
I was
you'll
gonna
be
say,
great in it,
okay,
yeah.
I want to also tell
It
you,
would scare the shit out of me, though.
Joy, we are recording the Zoom meeting that we can use for advertising. So try not to let your facial expressions show your true thoughts of what you're saying.
All right. I have to approve it first. No. So I was acting to a green screen. I don't know if you've ever done that, but it's pretty fun. So Bigfoot kills me. I mean.
Oh, you do die, and your character does die in that Bigfoot movie.
Oh yeah, I'm a tour
See?
guide, and all these people are following me. So when we were shooting, it was snowing.
Oh my God, that's terrifying.
And,
No, I'll tell you why when you're done with your story. I'll tell you exactly why.
and so we were walking, like really fast because I figured it'd be boring if we moved really slow because there wasn't anything but trees. So we went really fast. We crunched the snow. So I had to go in and lay my lines down again because of the background noise.
Sure.
But I'm telling them all about, the presidents in South Dakota, the heads.
Mount Rushmore.
Oh, Mount Rushmore?
Mount Rushmore, there.
Yep.
And so I'm talking to them like this, and I turn around, and there's Bigfoot, and I get to do this big scream, and he goes,
And just
it's really funny. It's
Just like Rick.
laughs.
okay, I gotta watch it. Let me tell you.
Watches me like a fly.
What year did you make that? What year was that movie?
I don't know. That was 6 years ago, maybe.
Okay. We.
I have a clip of it someplace on my.
I think I've seen it. Yeah, but I don't like I said, I don't like Bigfoot. When I was a kid, I would always look in the backyard, and we had a pretty big backyard, but there was like sticker bushes and all these thick brush on the other side of the fence. And I swear, anytime I went to the bathroom and I looked out the bathroom window, it was right next to the toilet. And I'd be looking outside. I swear I could see like Bigfoot's face looking at me in the bushes, just watching me. And then sometimes in the distance, you know how tree branches kind of hang weird way far away? I swear I saw Bigfoot up hanging in one of them, watching me. Scared the living shit out of me. So as I'm getting older now. I'm like, young teenager. I had a dream, a nightmare, and it was snowing in my dream. And Bigfoot was trying to get into our house. And I ran out the front door, and I'm running down the street. And when I looked back through the snow, as I'm running through the snow, and I couldn't go fast because of the snow, Bigfoot was standing on the roof of our house watching me as I was running away. To this day, I still get chills the first time I see snow on the ground. It still scares me. And I wrote a whole novel about it, about Bigfoot.
Oh, my gosh. You're going to have to live in a warm climate forever.
Well, That's Incredible. Back in the day, that TV show got me. Because when they showed what film was that? Patterson film. Yeah, with Bigfoot walking across the other side of the river, and he's mobbing, and he looks at the camera and kind of moves away. I saw that on That's Incredible, and I cried. I couldn't go to sleep that night. It killed me. So I live in the Pacific Northwest where Bigfoot is, and that's why I don't go in the woods. A, because Bigfoot is real, and B, because I'm black and we always die in the woods anyway.
Yes, you're always the first.
Yeah.
But now here's the fun part. I can definitely get him to go in the woods. All I got to say is, hey, Aaron, let's go make a movie. You're the star.
Yeah. Then I'll do it. I'll risk my life for it.
His number.
Anyway, that's fun.
What'll show you how old I am in comparison. The things that I was afraid of was like having a nuclear bomb.
Okay.
We used to hide under the desks and all that. So that I would hear this ee and think it was a bomb coming in at night. So that was my nightmare.
And that's a nightmare too. That's so scary.
That's
I know.
That's interesting too because
but I got over it.
That's interesting too because I remember when I was a kid, we did the same drills. Now Aaron and I are the same age, and I'm just a little bit younger than you, but I had the same thing. So when the movie Damnation,
How do you know how old I am?
You told me earlier.
I said I was in my 60s. I didn't say exactly.
Well, I'm not gonna. And I'm not dumb enough to guess. So
yeah, see,
but still,
you better not.
That's smart.
When I lived in California, when I was a kid going to school, we still had those drills, earthquake drills and attack drills. So we had the same thing.
Oh, well, combine them, yeah.
So when Damnation Alley came out back in the early 80s, that freaked me out. I thought that's exactly how the world's going to end. So anytime anything weird happened, that was mine. I wasn't in the Northwest yet. So yeah, Damnation Alley, nuclear holocaust, the end of the world type stuff. That was the one that actually got me.
Wow.
And if it's going to happen again, it will be before January 20th, probably.
Yeah, it could be.
I'm not going to get into that.
Wait a minute.
We don't have to. We can't. Even if Sam's not here, I can't even get into that.
Wait, the world
hasn't
hasn't
let me talk about that stuff on this show.
The world technically hasn't ended yet, guys. Why are we saying again?
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, yeah, I guess you make a good point, Charlie.
All right, you caught us.
Yeah, I don't know. Conspiracy.
I did a play once that was a murder mystery too. It was called The Christmas Party.
Okay.
And the entire cast was black except for me.
You're the only white one there?
Contrast.
And guess who was the murderer? Me.
You were. Yeah.
Racist.
Not really. Most serial killers are white. How many black serial killers have you guys seen?
Keep watching our movies. You'll find out.
Yeah. Are they starring you? No.
Yeah, right.
Wait, is that good or bad? I didn't pick.
So you've done a lot of. She's done a lot of stage work.
It was a great experience. Come on, really. That's when I learned about white privilege. Actually, it was like 4 years ago. We did it twice.
Okay.
And the second time they did let other colors in.
Right. Yeah, you can talk like I get what you're saying.
We get you.
Yeah, we totally get you.
Yeah. Anyway, but the writer was a black woman, and that's what she does is write murder mysteries, and then she adapted it for a play. I just loved doing it. It was the best. The best.
That's what I was going to ask you. So you do stage and film. Which do you have one preference you like better?
Yeah, film.
You like film better? So what is the difference? I mean, is there a lot more pressure, obviously, on stage? I would think so. That would scare the hell out of me going up there and trying to memorize all the lines and stuff.
So especially if you do it so much. So, you have like 6 weeks of rehearsal, and then, you start at 6 and you finish at 10 or whatever, and, till however late.
Mm-hmm.
You have, it's just bigger and broader, and you can do crazy things. It doesn't have to be so narrow.
Okay.
But it's not instant. It's such a long, I really don't like to do it only once in a while. Like the reason I did this last play where I did 2 years in a row was because it was only like 3 or 4 performances.
Okay.
And that was so great. That was the perfect amount of time. I mean, I don't like rehearsing a whole heck of a lot, really. I mean, going over doing your blocking, I don't, So no, I prefer film because it's more instant and because you can do it over.
Right.
Do something.
That's what I think. You get one take up there on the stage, you know what I mean? It's like one shot, and you just got to keep that thing going.
But still, there's nothing like being on stage and getting that immediate feedback from the audience, which is what I had when I was dancing too.
Correct. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It probably tied into that. So that the steps you've taken from being a dancer to doing plays and acting there and then film, I mean, the progression makes sense. I was just curious if there was one you preferred over the other. And
yeah,
I'd pick movies.
Definitely film. And if it's a comedy, even more.
Oh, yeah. See, but you do a lot of...
my crying roles a lot, but, too.
Yeah. You do a lot of horror movies, though. I see you always in like all the scary stuff, especially locally.
That's what they do here. That's the most. I guess it's because of the, depressive weather. Anyway, everybody shoots horror films here. I've never shot a horror film before.
Wow.
Well, I mean, it is a big indie market. Horror is the first niche in which you want to try and tackle as an indie filmmaker, because you are not expected to be at the highest level as if doing what you're doing. Right. Aaron and I are batshit crazy because our first film was an action thriller noir, and our next one's going to be a freaking drama. So we are delusional. We're delusional.
Yes, we are.
Well, I love dramas too. It just depends. But the last horror film I did was Silent Threads, I think, and that's where my eyes and mouth are sewn shut.
Yeah.
Ooh. And I'm a homeless woman. I mean, I don't think I'm really recognizable. But
I didn't recognize you. I saw the poster to it. I'm like, that's Joyce. I'm like, what the fuck? That's Joyce.
And all I do is cackle in the whole. I mean, I do throw something at some guy, but anyway.
Oh, it looks scary though. It looks scary. I watched the other day, a 48-hour you did. You had a bit part in there. I have to honestly say that you stole the whole thing. Your part, you died in it. But that scene, I was showing Sam too, and I'm like, Sam, look how good Joyce is dying. Look at that. How did she die that good?
I don't even know. For sale?
It was like some weird game show carnival dude at the end with these things in the woods with this person that had long hair.
Oh my God.
And it was chasing you, and I think it was your partner in the movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it cut back.
Michelle.
Yeah.
Michelle
Yes.
and I were good friends, and she was my significant other partner.
Correct. Yeah.
We have to have gay people. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's why I keep Chuck
around.
48 hours, they always put a gay person. Not that anything's wrong with that, but I don't know why they do it.
Right. Well, they let me into places because they have to have the one token.
They have to have the black guy.
They got to have the black guy.
So the black guy in that film is
He was funny. I loved him.
Jeffrey Johnson. He's fabulous.
Oh, he was so funny. I loved him so much. He was my favorite. I'm like, dude.
So cool. He played my husband in the first one, and then the second play, he was the lead detective.
Oh, wow.
It was kind of similar. That it was kind of noir.
Can I just say I want to be to the point where Joyce is, to where I've made so much crap I don't even remember the movie that you're talking about. I want to be at that point someday.
I don't know that that's so. You know what? On IMDb, they don't put all of the industrial films I did, which on my resume I only list the leads, which are about 10 of them because I can't,
Okay.
Fit any more on there. But that doesn't show. It looks like I haven't done anything, but
Really?
I have.
Yeah, I know. I saw your resume and then I saw your IMDb and I could see it. I'm like, well, shit, she's done so much. Commercial work, TV shows, plays, films, supporting stuff. You were in a China O'Brien movie.
I was.
Chuck, do you remember China O'Brien back in the day, 80s karate movies?
Yes.
Remember China O'Brien?
Yes.
She was in one of them.
I
She was
was
a
a-
supporting cast member. You were what?
A magician. And
I-
and I turn the thing around. I put the person in there. I turn the thing around the judge, and I shot him. That's the only time I've ever used a blank gun.
Okay.
And I shot him, and then you open it up, and he's really dead. So I really
shit.
shot him.
I got to go back and find that movie because I watched all those. That one, those guys, and when I was all the Chuck Norris movies, obviously Jeff Wincott movies back in the day, the karate movies we used to watch.
Yep.
Loved all that stuff. But China
that's
O'Brien,
what Enter the Bassett is. It's a takeoff on Bruce Lee's Enter the Dragon.
Enter the Dragon. Yeah,
Movie my ex and I did.
gotcha. Okay, I'd love to watch that too. That's fun.
Well, see,
So he was doing Tai Chi.
Okay.
I was going to tell you something. I just forgot. My train of thought just went.
That's okay because we get sidetracked all the time. Don't even worry about it. But we were talking about horror movies. I was talking that you do a lot of those because I know you did parts in the Friday 13th fan films up here too, and those are fun.
Well, even though she was 70, no, that's okay. They didn't care. They just liked my audition. So yeah, actually the director contacted me. This is before like Alexi was my manager and right. Melissa was my at Big Fish was my agent. So he contacted me and he said, I saw it on Facebook, but I thought, well, I'm not really 70 years old. I'm a great grandma. I don't know. And then
Right.
I didn't, and it didn't pay and I don't know. So I didn't do it. And then the director contacted me and said, I've seen your Bigfoot thing and you're really funny. And would you, audition for this role? And so I did. So the first audition he didn't even like.
Okay.
It was too sweet. He said, so you've got to put more horror stuff in it. So I redid it. But when we shot, the sweetness came out. I don't know. But
Okay.
they liked it. It was fine. The weirdest audition I ever had. So it was something for Virgin Pictures. And it was about kind of like nuclear, they put something in the water. I don't know. It's, and everybody dies. So I was playing Dodie, a Texas wife. And I walked in. So I had red hair then. And it was curly red hair. I don't know if you know who Jill St. John is. She's an old movie star. She was with Robert Wagner a lot. She's very glamorous.
Okay.
They thought I looked like her, only a younger, better version because I was younger.
Uh-oh.
They're Hollywood guys. And they said, so you got the part. And I go, well, don't you want me to read or anything? My audition. They said, no, we like you. You're in.
We like it. You're good. Yeah. Wow.
That was the weirdest thing. It's the only time not the only time. I never had to audition, but you know how nice that is when you don't.
Right.
well,
That's a heck of a compliment. That's awesome.
that is awesome. Now, there's something that she was talking about earlier, Aaron, that you don't understand yet because you do your IMDb page, and one of the things I learned when I started mine recently is the fact that Aaron could probably still pull off 35 to 50, depending on the makeup artist. And once I got to this age and this stage of my life, I've realized that I can only do from the age I am and older. Because I went somewhere with my wife and my 20-something daughter, and I was asked if I was both of their fathers.
Oh my God.
That sucks, bro. I'm so sorry, Joe.
Now,
So good.
kudos to my wife. I mean,
Well, black don't crack, really.
We
So
know that. We know
I'm just, I'm still here. I'm actually older than Chuck. Can you
Really?
believe that?
she really?
Chuck, I'm sorry.
I love it so much. It's so funny. I'm so sorry, Chuck. But you still look like Bruce Willis back in 2007. I'm telling you. You do. You take the glasses off, you still got some action movies in you. You can still do this, Chuck.
Well, my agent does send me on things that are like 10 years younger still. She
See?
10 years. She does. But I don't know. I think their idea of what people look like are skewed sometimes. You know, like when I have a white wig, and if I wear the white wig, then
Mm-hmm.
I look more like a grandmother than I do. So I started going platinum, but I had darker blonde hair. And that they just kept telling me I looked too young. It wasn't that recent, though.
But
Now
still, that's cool.
They're starting to let me be the grandmother a lot more
Right.
when they weren't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I don't mind that, but you know they have a narrow idea. You've got to have white hair. I don't know. One time they told me I was more like a Palm Springs grandmother,
What the hell is a Palm Springs
She-
grandmother?
quirky
Yeah,
grandmother.
you know,
Yeah.
it's just,
Okay.
it was
Yeah.
chic. Can I ask you a personal question?
Maybe.
How have you felt adjusting your career to your age? You said you didn't work much in your 50s because that is kind of an era time where things change more and people.
It is. All my 50-year-old friends are not working. It's funny. I don't mind it because it's kind of funny here. There are a lot of women my age acting, but for some reason I have I can do more diverse things here, but I think it has more to do with the Pacific Northwest.
Okay.
Because of the things they do.
Sure.
Because they're so varied, and they'll just hire me just because they know me or they know my stuff or something. So
Right.
and so I think that's more. I think I might be more typed if I was in LA.
Sure.
Couldn't do the sweet grandma with the glasses baking cookies. I mean, I could, but there's probably the perfect person for them in LA.
Right.
No, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So no, I think I work for my age. I think I work a lot, and sometimes I don't want to because I don't want to do those shoots that last till 3 a.m. anymore.
Yeah.
Really, this lays me out for a whole week practically.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I have a lot of energy.
When we get the chance to shoot with you, I'll make sure that you have a lovely outside day shot so you'll know that you're not going until 3 a.m.
All right,
Yeah.
great.
And Chuck is not a nighttime guy anyway, so I had to hear him bitch so bad at night when we were filming Outrider, and yeah, I'm never going to do that again. Never.
Well, it really wears you out. Not the young ones. They do fine, and they're fine. But you're out usually in freezing cold in the winter.
Yep.
And, working till 3 a.m. So that's too much for me. It kind of happened with Silent Threads.
Okay.
So we shot once, and that was in the snow. It started snowing as I'm driving down there to Bellingham. And then something happened with the film and the director and the camera person. And so that didn't work out. So we had to reshoot it. And I'm like, if you keep me out till 3 a.m, I'm not doing it.
Oh my
So
god.
they said, okay, we promise. So it was 1. I'm like, okay, that's a lot better.
Well, let me ask you this: Would you rather film until 3 a.m. or would you rather start at 4 a.m.?
I'd rather start at 4 a.m.
That's my girl.
Nowadays, because I get up at 5.
Aaron
Couldn't do it.
Aaron is not a morning person. He's going to say it's a white
No.
thing.
No,
I
I'm
didn't used to be. My husband changed me.
yeah, 4 a.m. I mean, that's not morning. That's still night. That's the middle of the fucking night.
Yeah.
I don't want to wake up in the middle of the night. I want to go to bed and sleep until the morning. That's the normal, way you're supposed to do stuff.
Well,
right?
I don't know.
Am I crazy or am I? I think it's a black thing, Joyce. It's just a black thing. We like to sleep.
Oh, it's not.
Well, the funny thing was this moment that Aaron was talking about me complaining at 2 a.m. was the day that I woke up at 5 a.m. and had been working an event all day long. Showed up on set. What didn't the sprinklers go off in the middle of trying to shoot or something? So we even had a delay when I got there.
Oh yeah,
showed up on set at like 11:30, and some of the cast members were goofing off around 2 a.m. and I might have snapped at them a little. I might just, got them back in line and reminded them that their opinion didn't matter and shut up and do what the director says for a minute. I was being a supportive friend. No,
you did good. I like to mess with you.
Well, I don't know how happy I'd be to hear you complain either.
He didn't complain to the cast and crew, but he complained to me. I could see it in his face. He didn't even have to say anything. I could see it in his face. He hated it. He was so tired. You were so tired.
So tired. But we got it done.
Really?
I know it is. It was, but we had to get that movie done, and that was the ending, the final scene of at the church when we were there. Yeah, we were there. We were hoping to get it done in 2 nights. Wasn't that the plan?
Well, yeah, we were going to get it done on a Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, it's always going to take longer than you think.
Yep.
Because there's airplanes, there's, I don't know, whatever. Yep. Always. And you really need to have a shot list. But
yes.
I've done so many films where they don't have one.
Shot list, check. Okay, I'm going to write that down. I'm teasing.
Yeah, that's important. That's funny.
Are you being sarcastic to me or to him?
No, he's actually making that joke because we tended to, most of our career, film and short films and whatnot, everything was improv. We would just do what we do. We'd have an idea, and I'd have an idea of like effects I wanted to try, and we just do that kind of thing. And then when we started to get into features, and we made our first one, we didn't shot list that at all. That was all coming out of my head on the fly. But most of it I had in my head. So we didn't waste too much time. But there were some moments in The Outrider and this is a movie we're going to actually put out, onto the stage. I would shot list that day before we'd get to the shoot, like on a piece of paper and just kind of jot down.
You did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. It does. It really does help. But now we're thinking, what kind of filmmakers are we? Are we going to be the ones that do all that pre-production work from storyboarding to shot list to prep and everything like that? Or do we stick with who we are and what we've done and add a few elements here or there and still be us? I'm still kind of up in the air. I don't know how much time we should put into pre-production or not with storyboarding and whatnot, but we're going to find out because we're going to try it. We want to try everything, and we want to talk to everybody who uses those things because I think that's important.
Storyboarding's good too, to be able to show and have everything planned out. I know what you're talking about. Like it's like an actor doing improv or something, to be able to do something on the fly. Hi, baby.
Oh, there's a puppies. I saw your puppies.
They have a dog too.
Pup. Hey. Ooh, come here. Come here, say hi.
Careful, you're wearing a black shirt. They might get white hair all over you.
Oh, well, I have lint removers. He's a dog, I love him. So, what was I saying about the storyboards?
Comedy and improv.
Oh, so, that doesn't have to ruin your creativity. So, like when we were doing Vengeance, that wasn't storyboarded that I knew of, but I did have a shot list, right? And then they had us do a whole improv just out of the blue, and that ended up in the movie. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't mean you can't add things, or somebody has an idea, or the actor does, or the director, and you can't do those things on the fly.
Right.
But, really, to keep things moving and not end up till 3 a.m.
Right.
You need a shot list, at least a shot list.
That's true. Well, I agree. What was I going to say now? Now I forgot.
About guerrilla filmmaking?
See, I should have did a shot list for the podcast so I didn't forget what I was going to say.
That's right. You should.
I know, right?
At least questions. I could have given me the questions in advance.
Oh yeah, I know. But
No,
see, I don't know.
we prefer the facial expressions
Well,
of asking questions inappropriately.
Yeah, we want to do real conversations with people. You know, just like me and you and Chuck sitting around waiting. If Sam was shit would have fucking worked today. I don't know what's going on. You know what happened though?
Tell Sam I'm sorry that I didn't get to talk.
I will. I will do that, honestly. We're on remote. We had to switch over because Chuck's wife had surgery. So he's at his house with his wife, and we didn't want to bombard his studio there while she's resting after surgery yesterday. So I brought all the gear to my house to do it today, and it's just been crazy. Plus we lost an interface last week, and we had to deal with that. We got a new one, and then the other computer sucks ass, but you know, it is what it is. But anyway, we still wanted to talk with you, Joyce.
So I want to tell you something about acting. About auditioning.
I want to hear it.
Because I was thinking, you know, what do they really want to know? So now with self-tapes, and this is something I had to learn how to do. I was pretty awful at it at first, and I'd do like 300 tries, you know, but now I'm good. Can do it 2 or 3 times, and that's it. But what you have to think of when you're auditioning and when you read the script is that however many submissions they have, everybody is going to do it about the same, with the same kind of emphasis and the words, the same, you know, take on the character. So you need to find out one thing that is special about that script and that character.
Okay.
Put that in your audition and you'll get it.
Okay.
You know,
all right. So go ahead, Chuck.
I want to say something on that.
It's not easy, but that's part of your talent, right?
Yes, very much
Right.
so. Because I want to go back because we just did auditions for Say Goodbye right before we got shut down with the pandemic, and both Nicole Moriarty and Kevin Yoon came in, and that is exactly what they did. The way that Nicole read, she was her dad was her whole life, and that was the one thing that the way she delivered that made that pop. And the same thing with Kevin, because he is like the Sean is the mentor to the character that Kevin was reading for, and you could see it in his face, like everything that the guy was going to say, the guy, Kevin's character was just waiting to hear what he had to say and just leaned into every part of the conversation when he was reading, and it was exactly what got them the part.
Yeah,
Right.
And that's what you're saying, Joyce. Yeah, find those that foundation for that character, almost that thing that pops in the story that's most important for that character to portray. Yeah, I agree. That's awesome.
You're going to do it the same kind of.
Right.
I did take this acting from Steven Anderson that I really, really liked. And what he would have us do is do it with all different intentions: hate, love, whatever. Each part of this, the acting of the script, the rehearsing. And also he would have you write monologues to the other character. And that really worked because that gave you a relationship that's developed between the two people.
Okay.
Even if you never act with them. That was pretty amazing. He'd have you write it out. He also had us go to lunch with the other character and stay in character, which was all really different. I once made an actress cry. I was her mother, and it just got so intense.
Isn't that weird?
That I made her cry. I felt bad.
In a loving way, or a mother disappointed in her daughter way?
So her daughter was coming out of treatment.
Okay.
And the mother had been quite the drinker too. And
gotcha.
So I apologized and told her that I loved her no matter what. And that's what made her cry.
And that popped her juice. Isn't it weird how you can get into this stuff? Like when you get into a character, like I'm not like when we started filmmaking, I always liked writing the stories. I love that. I love directing and editing. I love putting it all together. It's like a cool puzzle. And when you get it right, you get goosebumps and you're like, holy shit, that's cool. I never really got into the acting portion until our last movie, The Outrider, when I got to play Marcus Ford. And it was weird because I wasn't planning on playing that part. I didn't think I was, but everybody picked all the other parts, and then I was like, well, I guess I got to be the fucking hero again. And
poor guy.
well, I didn't feel like I wanted to do it. I didn't. I wanted to focus. I wanted to focus on the filmmaking. You know what I mean? But you know, when I put the hat on and the coat on, something happened. It really just changed my attitude. And I'm like, holy shit, this is the guy in my head I wish I could always be like and say things the way I wanted to say them to people in real life, and really have that capability to show like no fear at all. And I started to really get into the acting part of it. I loved it. I had more fun acting in that movie than I did actually making it. And I never knew that would happen. And then I thought about it too, like, how the hell do you get in a place in your brain to make it feel like it's real? You know, because when we were filming sometimes, I really I could feel it. I could feel like there was a monster around the corner.
I know,
you
it's just like the flow. It just, you're totally in there, in the moment, and everything else is part of what's going on in the movie. I mean, it's just a flow. It's just so easy.
It is.
Now, it's always been that way for me in every single role, but a lot of the time, and that's the most rewarding, I think.
No, that's so. Yeah, it's unreal. It's amazing. I just wondered if you thought the same way, since you've acted way more than me and done so many things. You get lost in there, and next thing you know, you feel like you're that character, that person.
Well,
it's weird.
The character is always you, and you're always the character. It's just, you might have quirks. I don't know.
Right.
You have universal emotions, and so, you know, it's always you too.
Right. True. Yeah, I guess you're right. It's just such a magical thing. That's why I like making movies so much.
Yes, Kyle. You know, it's like I had this boyfriend once that I would say things like seeing a squirrel on a swing and, you know, just making things up. You know, I have this imagination, and I said, you mean you never have dreams that way, or you don't think about things that way? And he said, no, never. You have the most imagination of anybody I've ever met. And I thought, oh, how sad.
I know. It is sad. I agree with you.
Have that.
I know.
Well, I mean, it's so fun to just dream and imagine.
Was he an analytical and numbers type guy, though?
Oh, yeah. He was. He's no longer my boyfriend.
Yeah, that didn't work out. Yeah, didn't work out.
No, he just was very practical, you know, very, yeah.
You know, you make a good point, though. I could honestly say I felt the same way listening to some people not be able to think outside the box like that and let their mind go and wander and think of all these great things. Like I always talk about it on the show, too. You know, I'm driving down the road listening to music, and I can see somebody walking down the street a certain way, and it just fits. And I'm like, God, that looks like a movie shot right there. And they don't even know it. They don't have no idea. They're just walking to the bus stop. But they look so fucking cool doing it with the song playing on the stereo. Then I'm like, wow, it's neat. And I see that stuff everywhere I go. It doesn't matter if it's a grocery store or whatnot. I can see it. And I go. Just like what you're saying, you know, seeing a squirrel on a swing. I hear you. I hear you. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, people look at me crazy when I said that, but it was, but you know who laughed? My mother-in-law laughed. She has an imagination. You know, she thought it was funny. So right. I can always tell when people are kind of on my wavelength. You know, I've done a lot in the acting field, modeling, all that. So I started out as a dancer. But when I got an agent, so the way I got my first agent was in the ballet company, they had a fashion show that was a fundraiser. And I was one of the models because I was a taller person. And so the woman from that department store, the fashion director, hired me for 25 fashion shows. Wow. And of course, the agent took me. Okay. But I didn't really want to model, but I did. I did because that's what my look was kind of like that. So I did the modeling and I did the acting too. And the best job I had modeling was I went to Greece and Italy and Paris, and I did like a 10-page spread for Greek Cosmopolitan. We did, 5 or 6 pages in Paris and then 5 or 6 pages in Greece. And I mean, it was like being a star, which, I've never really been. But I would get to go into each shop along the Greek stores, their Rodeo Drive, and pick out what I wanted to wear. And then when the photographer was shooting me, all the Japanese tourists came and shot me too. It was hysterical. It was so much fun. So that was my best modeling experience.
Wow.
I don't know what my best acting was. I used to have to teach it.
I was going to ask you, did you ever coach or would you coach?
Oh yeah,
actors?
I directed too. I've directed some plays before.
Okay.
It was a long time ago. I did try to go into producing here because I figured, okay, that's, that would be a good thing for me. I've got a lot of knowledge. I mean, I've propped sets. I've, done model photography. I just thought that would be a good thing to encompass everything that I've done in my life. Well, so I signed up with these people and didn't know them, and was going to put some money into the film, just a little bit, on a credit card, but they wouldn't let me do it. And ran into a woman that was very mean to me and jealous, and they kicked me off the producer and the acting that I was going to do, and wanted me to do the social media, and so I said no. And that just hurt so much that I haven't gone through that again.
Well,
and I still really don't like that woman.
Yeah, well, I could say I don't need to know who she is, but fuck that bitch. And then you can go and still do what you got to do, because you know obstacles and you know people are going to be out there doing mean and,
Oh, it was surprising to me at this.
Well, yeah, I get it.
I thought, I'm not a threat anymore.
Yeah, but some people are so insecure and scared. And I mean, you're a talented lady. You're a pretty lady. Why wouldn't they be still? I mean, they're going to be. Whether you think that or not, it's true. There's somebody out there that's going to not be able to handle your talent.
I really rather mentor people, and I've done that quite a bit in my life. I used to work PR and sales for a talent agent. Before I really started, I was still dancing, and before I really started doing the acting thing, I would teach people how to be on video and how to do a ramp walk, and I don't even know what else. Oh, voice tapes. Oh yeah. So I've done all that too. And then I had, like 3 or 4 photographers that I was their stylist. And I did makeup, and I did, so I've done everything, and I don't want to do those things again.
Right. Well, I think you should try to do that stuff though again, that producing thing.
Oh, I think I'll stick to acting. It's safer.
Oh, that's sad, because you could do it. I mean, you've got enough knowledge and talent to do all that stuff, and you're imaginative. You already said that. You're creative. You've got an imagination. Imagine how well you could help produce a film.
You give me all these compliments.
I'm just saying. I think you got it in you. And, it's sad for me to hear one bad person out there, gets in the way of somebody keep going on a new path.
It made me cry. I haven't done that in a while.
Sam would be right here crying right now hearing this story, because she's the empath.
I know she would.
Sam would
have been the same way.
No, okay, but let me say
she's an empath.
Yes, but let me say this for Sam and for Aaron is, you were just talking about how you moved down to Vancouver, and I wish you wouldn't have moved so far away, because you are exactly what we're looking for and part of us growing creative collaborative coalition. That is exactly what we're doing. We're trying to get people to come together to help the next level, because we work on a ladder system. We're reaching up for that next rung and trying to help people come up behind us as we go. So, Joy, don't let yourself get discounted by everybody like that. That's horrible.
There's Zoom meetings. I can help from afar.
No, she can.
That's true.
And also, I travel, but not till 3 in the morning.
No, she'll leave at 4 a.m. though, so she can get there by 7.
Yeah. I'll see you guys at 10.
Well, I'll tell you what. There's a certain thing that still needs to be filled in our next project, so I might just keep bugging you for a little bit and see what you might like to help us with.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, Joyce Curtis.
Sure,
ladies
why
and gentlemen.
Well, I don't know. I think she could pass. I think she could pass as Sam's mom, maybe.
Yeah, she could. I mean, that'd be.
Ah,
I don't know.
No, you're thinking wrong. This movie is not like traditional. This person is this person, this person. You have to be 30 years older than the person who you're playing the mother of. So it's not that style.
No, he wrote a faith-based film. A heartbreaking, such lovable story of a family kind of a film. That's what he wrote. And I challenged everybody and our crew to write something because I figured if someone else wrote something, it gives me time to write and then we could still keep shooting these movies. And Chuck picked up the pen and started going at it. And I'm expecting him to write like a scary movie, a thriller or something weird like that because he always loves that genre. And he broke out this love story and it's really fucking good. It's really good. And it surprised the shit out of me. I wasn't ready for it. And then I'm like, well, how am I supposed to direct a goddamn faith-based film? I can't do that. But I'm coming around, though. And that's what I mean. Like with you with producing. If you'd ever decided to go that route, if someone said, Aaron, you suck at faith-based films, I would say, you get the fuck out of my way. I can do it. And I wouldn't care if they were mean to me. Because I'd be mean right back. I'd be like, get out of here. You're ugly. Get out of my way.
That's why his name says asshole next to it.
Yeah, well, because they can be mean, and they're just being mean for mean reasons.
So it happened a different way. It's like, oh dear,
Shit, they're coming. Run.
Okay. we don't worry. Chuck's got dogs at his house too. It happens all the time.
So it was a kind of behind the scenes thing where the guy that wrote it and was producing it heard from this woman, and it was behind my back. All this happened behind my back, and then he called me and told me. It was just such a
dirty thing,
a shock to me.
Yeah.
So
I get it. I get it.
That's enough of that. Anyway.
Yeah, because you're too positive anyway. So I mean, I get it. She's a positive lady. You can see it in her face.
Well, she does spread a lot of joy.
Oh, Chuck.
I'll have to change my name.
Well.
Did I cross my eyes? I probably did.
Well,
I make faces.
You did great. Do you have anything else you want to share with us today, Joy?
Oh, I did write something, a couple little things about my mother. I would love to film a documentary about finding your biological mother.
That would be.
I know a film company.
Yeah. Yes.
I know, it's so amazing to find that. That is why I'm an actress. That's what I wanted to tell you. Why I'm an actress and why I have this drive to keep moving up and doing things, because I was insecure and didn't know who I was. So I had to try on all these other people all the time.
Yeah.
To see, and to prove that I'm good at something.
Right.
Well, you definitely are.
Wow. Yes. Joyce Curtis, ladies and gentlemen. She's a badass. You're a badass, hon. Thank you for being on our show. I mean, honestly, it's a pleasure to talk to you finally. I never got to actually meet you, and now, via Zoom, but still.
Yeah, that's meeting.
I know, it is meeting.
So much for having me today.
Air hug.
It was an awesome time. Awesome time. Thank you so much for being here.
I
Joyce,
feel
you're
like
awesome.
I've been to my analyst.
Welcome to Around the Reel.
We're your therapist. We're your entertainment. We're everything that you need.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Joyce, thank you so much for
I
joining
look
us
forward
today.
to talking to you guys again.
You will.
Not on the real, just whenever. Just call.
Yes, absolutely.
Zoom me.
Zoom me.
Zoom.
me.
Zoom me. Yeah, tell Sam she can Zoom me.
I will do that. I'm sorry that we had technical problems, but I know she's going to be bummed out, and she's probably going to yell at me right now when I get out here for not setting it all up right. So it's fine. It's fine.
The dog-
No, that was
the dog
probably her
just
right
came
there.
out, yeah.
That was probably her right
Yeah.
there. Holy shit, I thought that was Sam yelling at me already. I was like, Jesus Christ.
All right, you guys. I really.
All right.
It was nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you,
Thank
Joyce.
you.
It was a
Bye.
pleasure.
All right. Chuck, you want to close us out, buddy?
You bet. Joyce, thank you for joining us today for a cup of coffee and a conversation. It's always great getting to know people from our area and somebody with as much experience and as much of a pleasure to be around as you are. I can't wait to actually get a chance to collaborate with you further in the future. So thank you again for joining us. I can't wait to see you in person. And Zoom's fun, but I'm a hugger. As creepy as I am, I'm still a hugger. So
He's a hugger.
thank you again for joining us today. And remember, everybody out there, think hard because you're thinking anyway.
See you later, everybody. Thank you, Joyce.
Thanks.
Thanks for tuning in to the show. Hey, if you'd like to be a guest on Around the Reel, please reach out to us at our website. That's www.cccentertainmentgroup.com. There you can send us a message, and if you're an artist or creative or just want to get on the show and start talking about a bunch of shit like we do, please reach out to us and let us know. We'd love to have you. And if you also need other realms to find us in this wonderful Silicon Valley of what we call social media, we are also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can find us all there. And we have a page on YouTube that we're just getting started as well. And also, if you do want to watch our feature film, you can find that on Amazon Prime right now. That movie is called The Outrider. It's our first major feature film that we did. We have a bunch more coming, but please watch that one. Let us know what you think. And anyway, thanks again, guys, for tuning in. We got more shorts coming for you, so talk to you soon.